All right, think equal, build smart, innovate for change. That is the theme of today's International Women's Day, as policymakers, activists and gender equality stakeholders seek ways to use innovation to boost investment in gender-responsive social systems and also build public services and infrastructure to meet the growing needs of women and girls in particular. The day also comes just ahead of the start of the annual Commission on the Status of Women at the United Nations in New York, the single largest forum to build consensus on Goal 5 of the Sustainable Development Goals.
Over 9,000 delegates are expected to descend on UN headquarters over the next 2 weeks, the largest single gathering here outside of the annual UN General Assembly in September.
Women who live in the village.
Starting with International Women's Day, to take stock of progress and challenges in the global project for gender empowerment and equality.
The thinking behind the theme captures the 21st century, which is an era of change that is fast, high impact, and has capacity to reach even those who will be left behind because they are furthest away. We are, however, saying that when we innovate, we have to think about those people that aren't always in the minds of those who innovate. We have to facilitate for women to be part of those who innovate because they will be able to focus on their own problems. If women are doing artificial intelligence, the robots will address the issues that impact on women. And we're trying to showcase the fact that women want to do this work and innovation must speak to the women's issues.
She says they're seeking solutions that are both simple and complex to meet the needs of women across the globe, particularly as the focus shifts to social protection, access to public services and sustainable infrastructure as part of the CSW deliberations.
What do you hope CSW, post the 2 weeks of negotiation, will achieve?
The consideration of policies by governments that ensures that the basic infrastructure that enables women to have a fighting chance is seen as a must-have in every country. Because if you talk about access to clean water and sanitation, this has to be seen as a right, and it has to be made affordable and free where people cannot afford at all. I would like that at CSW this year, we also make sure that we look at creating specific programs and interventions that look at women in the informal sector, who in many countries of the world do not have social protection because social protection is not universal, but also they don't have even infrastructure to trade. They don't even have sanitation facilities where they're running their little businesses.
This gender activist is among the thousands attending CSW 63 and runs an Eastern Cape-based advocacy and empowerment organization working to eradicate violence against women.
Mlambo-Ngcuka Women's Rights International is looking at systemic change, so we need to be here to hear what our governments are committing to, how they're engaging with the process of the outcomes document. We want to be sure that our concerns are contained within that document. We are here representing the women from our country. We want to take back the information to the women from our country so that we can hold our state to account at a national level for what it has committed to at a global level.
A gathering that often puts governments against each other, with powerful civil society groupings in the mix, particularly on areas of divergence, like sexual and reproductive health, where conservative and progressive forces often fail to find harmony.
Executive Director, is this commission, the way it's set up, fit for purpose, given the consensus-based approach that it requires, right? Inevitably, outcome documents disappoint, particularly on human rights questions, on sexual reproductive health questions. What's your take?
The Commission of the Status of Women is a space for contestation, just like the Security Council is. Depending on what is happening in the real world, it plays itself inside the Commission. So you will have the issues that people are disagreeing or agreeing about out there in the world, playing themselves inside the Commission. But also, there tends to be a lot that people can agree on.
The 63rd session of the Commission runs from the 11th through to the 22nd of March. The South African delegation is expected to include several ministries. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.